Prime Video's The Better Sister had an ending that was filled with as many plot twists and dramatic reveals as the rest of the thriller show, and they could all use some explanation. The entirety of The Better Sister revolved around one key mystery: who killed Adam McIntosh, Corey Stoll. Most of the cast of The Better Sister had reason to do it. Both Chloe, Jessica Biel, and Nikki, Elizabeth Banks, had been abused by him, for example, but the answer was rather simple. Nikki killed Adam after she confronted him about abusing Chloe, and Ethan, Maxwell A.C. Donovan, tried to cover it up after the fact. That was just about the only simple part of The Better Sister's ending, however. All the complicated relationships in The Better Sister created a tangled knot of lies, secrets, and mystery, and it all unraveled in the show's final moments. Chloe managed to frame Bill Braddock, Matthew Modine, for Adam's murder. The shadowy Gentry group was finally outed, and Jake, Gabriel Sloyer, met his mysterious demise all in a matter of minutes. The whirlwind ending of The Better Sister may have been happy, but it could also do with some explanation and analysis. How Chloe framed Bill Braddock for Adam's murder and outed Gentry group. Chloe made copies of the Gentry group files and planted the murder weapon in Bill's office. Matthew Modine as Bill Braddock talking to Bobby Nadery as Matt Bowen in The Better Sister episode 8. Though he didn't actually kill Adam, Nikki did that. Bill Braddock took the fall for the crime. Chloe carefully orchestrated a series of events that was meant to frame Bill for the murder and get the police off of Nikki's trail, and it worked perfectly. Chloe first printed off copies of the incriminating Gentry group files and sent them to Detective Bowen, Bobby Nadery, which gave him reason to search Braddock's apartment. She then took the original files back to Braddock, which both got Gentry group off her trail and put evidence in his apartment. The real kicker of Chloe's plan was the knife she planted in Braddock's office. Nikki had previously given her knife, the murder weapon, to Chloe. Chloe then planted some of Adam's hair on the knife, which tied it to the crime scene. With the DNA evidence in place, Chloe planted the knife in Braddock's desk, knowing that the police would soon be there to search for the Gentry group files. While looking for the files, Bowen also found the knife, and Braddock was arrested for Adam's murder instead of Nikki. Who killed Jake in The Better Sisters finale? Jake was likely killed as retribution by Gentry group, but his death is still unexplained. Jake Rodriguez, Gabriel Sloyer, dead on a beach in The Better Sister episode 8. One of the more surprising twists at the end of The Better Sister was when Jake's dead body was shown washed up on a beach. The Better Sister doesn't outright explain who killed Jake, but there is one suspect who seems most likely to be responsible. Jake mentioned that if Gentry group found out he was working with the FBI, they would have him killed, and it seems that's what happened. FBI agent Olivero, Frank Pando, also threatened Jake, but once Chloe gave Bowen the files, he would have had no reason to kill Jake anymore. Did Ethan end up living with Chloe or Nikki? Chloe and Nikki reconciled and decided to co-parent Ethan in New York. Chloe, Jessica Biel, and Nikki, Elizabeth Banks, smoking on the beach in The Better Sister episode 8. Another big question that wasn't explicitly answered at the end of The Better Sister was Ethan's fate. Nikki expressed a desire to move back to Cleveland and take Ethan with her, but she never said if that was actually going to happen. Nikki wasn't sure if Chloe was actually fully loyal to her and Ethan or if Chloe would sell them out for a book deal or money. Once Nikki saw that Chloe had framed Braddock to save her, however, she realized that Chloe could be trusted, and she presumably decided to co-parent Ethan with Chloe in New York. Why didn't Nancy get a chance to catch the real killer in The Better Sister? Nancy's past brutality caught up to her and the NYPD's internal politics kept the truth from coming out. Nancy, Kim Dickens, in a bar in The Better Sister episode 8. Another loose thread that wasn't fully tied up at the end of The Better Sister concerned Detective Nancy Guidry, Kim Dickens. Nancy went to Cleveland and got everything she needed to prove Nikki killed Adam, and she was just waiting on DNA testing to prove it definitively. After Nikki leaked the file of Nancy's bout of police brutality from years prior, however, she was put on administrative leave, and the NYPD didn't finish the DNA test that would have proven Nikki's guilt. Even with the administrative leave, however, it didn't make sense that the NYPD would just ignore hard evidence pointing them at the right killer. The simple reason Nancy didn't get a chance to prove Nikki was the killer is because of the NYPD's internal politics. As her lieutenant told her several times, Adam's murder was an extremely high-profile case. After Nikki's police brutality was outed, she couldn't be tied to it at all, or the department would risk a major scandal getting even bigger. They already had a good enough suspect in Braddock that wrapped up a tricky case neatly, so the NYPD sacrificed the truth to save face. Nancy's hard evidence wasn't as important as the police's corruption and their need to protect themselves from scrutiny. The real meaning of The Better Sisters ending explained. The Better Sister is a story about reconciling with family and how the past never stays dead. The Better Sister touches on a wide range of serious topics, but there are a few that are the most important. The biggest theme of The Better Sister is the strength of familial bonds, specifically between sisters and mothers and sons. It is largely a mystery thriller, but The Better Sister is really a story about how Chloe and Nikki set aside years of bad blood, lies, and secrets to reunite and reconcile. It's also a story about the lengths both biological and adoptive mothers would take to protect their children. It was only after Chloe and Nikki dedicated themselves to their families that their problems actually went away. Another big message of The Better Sister is the staying power of trauma and sins. Nikki shows this best. Her father's abuse haunted her throughout her adult life, and Adam's abuse nearly stole her son from her. It was only by confronting the past and telling the truth about the wrongs that were done to her that Nikki was able to reunite with Chloe and Ethan. Additionally, characters like Adam and Braddock show that you can only escape the consequences of your actions for so long. Whether it was Adam ruining his wives' lives or Braddock abetting a human trafficking ring, they both had to pay for their sins. There are also plenty of other ideas that The Better Sister spends less time on. There's a major critique of the United States justice system in the show, especially in how justice is applied differently to people of different economic classes and ethnicities. The Better Sister also has plenty of negative things to say about the court of public opinion and the beast that is the tabloid media machine in America. More broadly, The Better Sister is also a story about reconciliation, violence against women, and the power of truth and lies.